What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Davis of Flash Trades here with another trade day in the books, getting these Apex accounts to pay out. So let's look at our trade copier here. As we've talked about before, I used the Lucid evaluation accounts as my master, and I started a fresh, well, I've had the Apex account, but today I decided to use a different one because I like to spread my risk. I can talk about that in a second later, but let's go over the charts and see how we made $351.72 on the Apex account today. All right, so we'll start with the entries and then we can go over what made me determine I was going to take the trade here. So let me pull that up. And the first thing we'll do, like we always do, is go to the higher time frames. So you'll notice the 4-hour candle was actually beginning to flip, and that's kind of one of the reasons that I decided to take the trade. Same with the hourly, similar to the trade I took yesterday, or I'm sorry, 2 days ago. The hourly was flipping in the last 10 minutes, like the countdown flip that I always talk about on this channel that I like to do. And from there, this was actually only like a 3-minute trade, guys. So we can't even really see too much on the higher time frames aside from that the trades were taken. So trades were taken at 9 p.m. in Asian session, and I'm just gonna go to like we'll just go to the 1 minute so you can actually see when these were executed, but then I'll break them down so you can see what was going through my head and why we took the gold trade today. Obviously we were looking for bears. I've been doing the same thing like every day with gold. I just wait till the right candle setup forms and then I take the easiest trade I can find for the day. So basically closed the first portion of the trade, 5 contracts at about 0.88 R, and then the final portion I tried to close here. Like I was trying to close, it basically did this move within like probably less than a second's time. It just popped down. I clicked it and it was already too late. It was already back to near the 1 R mark. So I closed this portion at 1 R. The last 2 contracts, it was 7 contracts total, and that was the gold trade. So you'll notice entry was at 9 p.m. since I'm in Asian session here, but since I'm in Thailand, that is 8 a.m. in Thailand is 9 p.m. in EST. So that is why that time discrepancy is there. But the last portion of the order was closed at 8:03, and this one was closed at 8:02. So it was only a 2-minute trade for the majority of the order, and 3 minutes for the remaining runners that I left on the table. All right, so let's go over to the other chart, and we can just analyze how exactly I decided to take this trade today. All right, folks, so we have the gold chart pulled up here, and I wanted to just show you exactly how I decided to enter the trade for today. So you'll see that 6 p.m. is when Asian session starts, so that's when the gold reopens after a brief closure there. And the first hourly candle was bearish, though it seemed like it was trying to reject the low side. One thing to notice, it didn't break this previous wick, so that's one thing that I noticed as well. But then the next candle, this was pretty much a big indicator. Like when we get, this is the candles that I love to see, guys. So this is the hourly. Usually I would have entered on this actual hourly candle right here as it flipped over. But because the previous hourly was so weak of a closure, I decided to wait until the next candle opened. Because I could have had a pretty decent trade just by trading this last 10 minutes of this candle. I could have made something, but waiting actually gave me a better entry. So as we move down to the lower time frames, this is how I entered the candle. And obviously shooting for this 4-hour support here, but we went ahead and waited for the closure of the hourly candle, and that is when we determined when I entered at 9 p.m. It pulled back because I just wanted a better entry, and I've noticed the last few days, if gold has a good closure for the previous candle, a lot of times it will retrace before continuing the move if it's a strong enough closure. So I consider this 30-minute closure right here to be strong enough to where I decided to try something a little bit different than normal. I had a limit order right here. So it hit the limit order, and then it did pop up for a little bit, but not too high up here. My stop was the previous 30-minute candle, and then I basically just that was the trade. I didn't. It took, like I said, it took 3 minutes. It was just a matter of determining what the higher time frame candles were telling me, and then from there just taking the smartest trade. Let me just show the 4-hour time frame as well, because you can kind of see a similar setup was going on here. The 4-hour, this is the one, so it goes from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and 9 p.m. is when I took the trade. So you'll see that even the 4-hour was doing the countdown flip, which is when I literally talk about this almost every video, because these are my favorite setups on gold. It's when in the last 10 minutes of the candle, it flips the opposite direction of where it's been going the entire earlier portion of the candle. So it flipped bearish, and it was just done deal from there. So that is all I've got. I'm trying to keep these quick, guys, just so you can kind of see how I'm starting to trade gold. Again, I've only really traded gold for like a month or so, but I've had a lot of experience with the US 30, and I have a lot of time on my hands to get this down pat. So appreciate you watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to just continue to see this educational content that I'm providing. Entertainment purposes only, but valuable information. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.